It's great. It's great to know that. Yeah, you're the youngest. Your name is gonna be in the book records.
Alex Eala, yeah, that's been a talk, and which is understandable. There's some players coming from respective countries.
That right there, that's Alex Eala, 20 years old, the youngest. Calm enough to say it like it's almost no big deal, like breaking records is just something that happens when you put in enough work. There's no performance in that answer, no theatrics. Just a young woman who has spent years grinding in the background of a sport that rewards exactly that kind of quiet, relentless effort. And somewhere, while she was sitting in that chair giving that answer, a television network was quietly building a plan to destroy her on live TV. They had a script, and it wasn't written to celebrate her. According to reports, producers at The View were putting together a segment specifically designed to blindside Alex during what she would believe was a standard interview. The plan, according to insider leaks that spread quickly through sports media, was to use the format of a friendly, welcoming conversation to corner, criticize, and publicly humiliate a 20-year-old athlete, all while the cameras rolled and the audience watched. This wasn't going to be a tough question or a challenging moment. This was an alleged ambush, engineered from the start, scripted in advance, and aimed directly at someone who had done nothing to deserve it. The goal wasn't journalism. It wasn't accountability. It was ratings. They wanted the moment. They wanted the clip. They wanted the reaction. And they thought they'd pick someone they could get away with targeting. They were wrong. Badly, historically wrong. Because what the producers apparently didn't account for was who was already in Alex Eala's corner. Not as a PR move. Not as an alliance built for optics. But because of who she actually is, and what years of real relationships in professional tennis actually look like when something threatens one of their own. When that script leaked, and it spread fast, the way the most damaging things always do, it didn't just reach fans and journalists and sports commentators. It reached the inner circle of professional tennis. And when Novak Djokovic, 24 Grand Slam titles, the most decorated player this sport has ever produced, a man who has seen everything and been through everything, found out what had been planned for Alex Eala, the response was immediate. No negotiation, no strongly worded statement released through a publicist, no behind-closed-doors conversation with network executives, a complete boycott, no interviews, no appearances, no behind-the-scenes access of any kind, total blackout. But here's what made this different from any athlete versus media dispute you've seen before. Djokovic didn't stand alone for very long. Carlos Alcaraz, the brightest young star in the sport, the face of tennis's next generation, the player that tens of millions of young fans around the world have adopted as their own, saw what was happening and made a choice that same day. He posted a single image to his social media. An empty tennis court photographed at dusk, the light going out across the surface. The caption was short and it landed hard. "Integrity isn't for sale. We stand with Alex." He added the hashtag #StandWithEala. It started trending almost immediately. And just like that, what had been a network's internal problem became an international conversation. This was no longer about one show and one planned segment. This was about something much bigger than that. And every hour that passed made it clearer. To understand exactly what was at stake here, and why two of the most powerful athletes on the planet drew a firm, public, non-negotiable line over this specific situation, you have to understand who Alex Eala actually is. Not just the rankings, not just the results, not the headlines, the person behind all of it. She's 20 years old and she carries something most athletes spend their entire career chasing. There's an ease to her that isn't accidental. It comes from knowing exactly who you are and why you're doing what you're doing. She won her first WTA title in Guadalajara, and when the news reached the Philippines, an entire nation, over 100 million people, celebrated like she'd won a Grand Slam. Because for them, she had. She was theirs. She was proof of what's possible. She brought home gold at the SEA Games, representing her country with a focus and intensity that left no doubt she understood what she was carrying. In Abu Dhabi, she staged the kind of comebacks that make coaches stop and stare and remind themselves why they got into the sport in the first place. She signed a major ambassador deal with Nike, placing herself alongside the most commercially significant names in women's tennis. And through every title, Every tournament, every camera, every wave of expectation, she stayed exactly who she was. Humble, hardworking, genuinely kind to every person in every room she walked into. That's the person a television network decided to target. When the tennis community found out what had allegedly been planned behind those closed production doors, the reaction wasn't confusion or careful debate about journalistic standards. It was moral clarity, instant and total. One analyst put it simply, the producers forgot that Eala has some of the most powerful players in the sport standing directly behind her. And in professional tennis, those bonds aren't manufactured. Players train together for months, travel the same circuit across the same cities, compete against each other year after year in the highest pressure environments the sport produces. The relationships are real. And when one of them gets targeted, especially someone as respected across the entire sport as Alex, the others don't hold a committee meeting. They move. Djokovic moved faster than anyone. Think about what it actually takes to make Novak Djokovic angry enough to cut off a major American television network entirely. This is a man who has played through crowds that booed his every move in Grand Slam finals. A man who built the Professional Tennis Players Association from the ground up because he believed the sport's power structure wasn't protecting its players properly. A man who has squared off directly against governing bodies, tournament directors, and entire sustained media narratives, and never once looked away. He does not react to noise, but this wasn't noise. According to reports, when the details of the alleged ambush script were confirmed and reached his team, Djokovic's position was stated plainly. If a network does not respect Alex Eala, it does not respect tennis. And if it does not respect the sport, it does not deserve the sport. Not access to part of it. All of it gone. The boycott was total. No back-channel conversations to smooth things over. No quiet resolution that lets the network save face. No access of any kind, not a single interview, not a single camera moment, until the situation was addressed publicly, formally, and completely. Then Alcaraz made it too. And that's when the network's problem stopped being a reputational headache and became a full institutional crisis with no obvious exit. Because losing Djokovic means losing the greatest tennis player who ever lived. Every interview with him is a piece of history. Every post-match conversation carries the weight of 24 Grand Slam titles and a career that redefined what this sport thought was possible. Losing him is losing legitimacy. But losing Alcaraz hits somewhere entirely different. It hits the future. He is the viral moment, the social explosion, the clip that gets shared millions of times before the night is over. He is the reason the next generation of fans watches tennis at all. Losing either of them would damage any network that covered the sport. Losing both, simultaneously, publicly, over the exact same issue, with no sign of either one backing down. That's not a problem you manage with a press release. That's a crisis that shakes leadership to its core. And every single hour that passed without a real response from ABC made it worse. Because here's what the network fundamentally misread when they decided Alex Eala was a safe target for a ratings play. Professional tennis does not work the way they assumed. These aren't isolated competitors who play their match and go their separate ways. They are a community with real loyalty and real memory. When you come for one of them, especially one as genuinely respected as Alex, you don't just make an enemy of that player. You walk into the entire locker room. No athlete was safe. Not one. If they could engineer a scripted ambush for Alex Eala, someone with her reputation, her character, her record of carrying herself with nothing but class, the message was obvious. They could do it to anyone. That realization is what transformed a boycott into a movement. This stopped being about defending one player from one bad decision. It became about establishing a permanent standard. Professional tennis players are not entertainment props. They are not content to be manufactured out of someone's discomfort or surprise, and they will not be used that way. Sources close to both players confirmed that a formal joint notice was delivered directly to ABC's senior executives. The demands were not a negotiating position. They were the final answer. ABC must issue a full, public apology to Alex Eala, delivered on air, on the same platform, with the same visibility that was allegedly designed for the ambush. The producers responsible for creating and approving that script must be identified and held personally accountable. Until both of those things happen, completely and without compromise, the boycott stands. No secret side deals, no quiet handshakes, no partial gestures dressed up as resolution. One choice: do the right thing or lose access, all of it. The timing could not be worse for the network. The North American hardcourt season is building toward the US Open, one of the 4 most watched sporting events on the planet. Networks invest enormous resources to secure coverage access, post-match interviews, exclusive behind-the-scenes content, the kind of access that turns a broadcast into something fans actually want to watch. And right now, every call made to a player's team gets the same answer. We stand with Alex Eala. That position is not going to change. The chaos is spreading. Agents are turning down requests across the board. Sources inside professional tennis report that other top 10 players, men and women both, have quietly instructed their management teams to decline any approach from the network. Female champions who have navigated unfair media treatment their entire careers are standing publicly alongside male stars in a display of cross-door solidarity that people inside the sport cannot remember seeing before. At this scale, over a single issue. Athletes in basketball, football, golf, and soccer are watching closely, not as outside observers, but as professionals asking themselves whether this is the moment the power balance between athletes and networks actually starts to shift. The network wanted a viral moment. They got one, just not the one they planned. There is no complicated narrative here and no gray zone to retreat into. On one side is Alex Eala, 20 years old, talented, universally respected, guilty of nothing except working harder than almost everyone around her. On the other side is a network accused of sitting in a production meeting and deciding she was worth targeting for a ratings bump. And standing between them, publicly, immovably, with everything they've built and everything they represent, are 2 of the most influential athletes on Earth. Djokovic could be spending this moment protecting his legacy, doing safe interviews, and staying far away from conflict. He is already the greatest. He has nothing left to prove to anyone. He chose to spend that capital on a 20-year-old athlete who never asked him to. Alcaraz could be maximizing his commercial opportunities and keeping his profile clean. Instead, he posted that photo, wrote that caption, and made it crystal clear where he stands when it actually costs something. Both of them are proving that what you do when it matters is the truest measure of who you are. And Alex herself, she hasn't had to fight a single round of this battle. No statement prepared. No campaign launched. The years she spent being exactly who she is, kind, genuine, hardworking, consistent, did all of it without her saying a word. That kind of loyalty can't be purchased at any price. It comes from one thing only: being the real version of yourself every single day, long enough that the people around you would go to war on your behalf without ever being asked. The network that set out to diminish her has instead handed her something no PR strategy could manufacture: a public, permanent record of exactly who stands with Alex Eala and exactly why. The demands are on the table. The boycott holds: a full apology on air, full accountability for the people behind that script. Until both happen,